One of the best ways to understand odds is to compare it to probability. So let's imagine that we have a box and it has some marbles in it. And our experiment's going to be to draw one marble at random out of the box. We might want to know what the probability is of selecting a yellow marble. Or we might want to know what are the odds in favor of selecting a yellow marble. Now, to find the probability of selecting a yellow marble, we'll look at a ratio of the number of yellow marbles to the total number of marbles, which in this case is 2/7, 2 yellow marbles out of 7 total marbles. For odds, we also look at a ratio, but we're going to be comparing two different things. For the odds in favor of selecting a yellow marble, we would compare the number of yellow marbles to the number of non-yellow marbles. So everything that is compared to everything that isn't. And in this case, there are 2 yellow marbles, 5 marbles that aren't yellow, so the odds in favor of selecting a yellow marble are 2 to 5. Now let's look at odds one more way. In this case, we had odds in favor. We also might be looking at the odds against selecting a yellow marble. And in that case, we're still going to be comparing the number of yellow marbles to the number of non-yellow marbles, but we'll select them in the other order. So for odds against selecting a yellow marble, we'll compare the non-yellow marbles to the yellow marbles and get the odds against as 5 to 2. So let's see how odds and probability can work together within some problems. Suppose the odds in favor of selecting a red marble from a box are 6 to 11. What's the probability of selecting a red marble? So think about what the odds in favor of 6 to 11 means. If it's odds in favor of selecting a red marble, that means there are 6 red marbles for every 11 marbles that are not red. But we want to know the probability of selecting a red marble. That means that the two things we need to compare are the number of red marbles to the number of total marbles. Now, red marbles we know, there are 6 of those, but we aren't given the total number of marbles. That is an easy thing to figure out though. If there are 6 red and 11 that are not red, that's 17 total marbles. So that gives us the denominator of our fraction for our probability. The probability of selecting a red marble is 6/17. What if the odds against selecting a red marble from a box are 9 to 4, and we want to know the probability of selecting a red marble? Once again, think about what odds against means. If it's the odds against selecting a red marble, that means there are 4 red marbles and 9 that are not red. Notice the order there. It's odds against a red marble, so the number of red marbles is in the denominator. So the probability of getting a red marble would also be a ratio in which we have to know the number of red marbles and the total number of marbles. We already know there are 4 red marbles, and we can figure out the total number of marbles by adding the 9 that aren't red to the 4 that are red to get 13 total. So the probability of getting a red marble is 4/13. Now let's go a slightly different direction. What if we know the probability first? If the probability of selecting a red marble from a box is 3/8, what are the odds in favor of selecting a red marble? So think about what a probability of 3/8 means. This is a probability of selecting a red marble, which means the 3 represents a number of red marbles, and the 8 represents a total number of marbles. To find the odds in favor of a red marble, we'll have to compare the number of red marbles to the number of not red marbles. We already know there are 3 red marbles, but we need to figure out how many are not red. But if 3 are red out of 8 total, that means of the 8 total, the remaining 5 have to be not red. And that gives us the denominator for our odds. So the odds in favor of selecting a red marble are 3 to 5.